Tonight, Samuel Davis is accused of beating, kidnapping, and pepper spraying a man. News 4 was first to tell you about the incident earlier this month. Now with the charges, News 4 investigator Susan Elcoury is deep diving into the investigation and explains why this officer was picked up hundreds of miles away from St. Louis.
It all started here at the Northwoods Police Department, where investigators say now former officer Samuel Davis allegedly kidnapped and beat a man, all when he took that man into custody and never told anyone at the department. We're learning Davis was arrested at another police department when he walked in and applied for a job. This Walgreens in St. Louis County is where a 4th of July run-in with Officer Samuel Davis ended with a man found bloodied and beaten, and weeks later, Davis in jail. New court documents detail the alleged assault. Investigators with the St. Louis County Police Department say Davis took a man into custody at the Walgreens in Northwoods. Police aren't saying who the man is or why Davis put him in handcuffs. They say Davis drove almost 4 miles away to an empty lot at Martin Luther King Boulevard and Hugo Avenue. Police claim Davis pepper sprayed the man, hit him with a baton, and ordered him to not return to Northwoods. A woman driving by called 911 and snapped these photos of the man she says is named Charles. Police say the man suffered serious injuries, including a broken jaw. The lot where Davis allegedly attacked the man is out of his jurisdiction and in the city of Kinloch. Police records say Davis turned off his body camera, never told dispatch he had someone in custody, and didn't write a police report. Northwoods Police Chief Dennis Sharif sat down with News 4 days after the alleged assault.
I want to be as transparent as I can.
On Monday, after Davis was arrested, we tried to talk to Sharif. An employee said he was in a meeting. He later sent us a statement writing, "Words can barely begin to express the disappointment and the failure of what appears to be a reckless disregard for the humane treatment of others and the solemn duties of a law enforcement officer." He goes on to say this incident is directly contrary to the core values, goals, and policies of our police department and of the city of Northwoods. News 4 Investigates uncovered Davis, who's 26 years old, previously worked as an officer for the North County Co-op at the Veneta Park Department. His name shows up on this roster from 2021. Tracking other departments he may have worked at isn't easy in Missouri. Under state law, an officer's personnel files are confidential. On top of that, the state doesn't have a central system for the public to see if an officer has moved around. The only way to know is to ask each department if an officer worked there. Davis was arrested Monday in Fayetteville, North Carolina. News 4 Investigates found out he was picked up by the police department at their training center. A police spokeswoman told us Davis applied for a job. They discovered he had a warrant in St. Louis and arrested him. Right now, Davis is being held at a county jail in North Carolina. We're told once he's brought back to St. Louis County, he'll be held on a $750,000 cash bond.
Fellow officer Samuel Davis was charged. Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. It's been nearly 2 weeks since a man was found bloodied and beaten in a Kinloch field. 5 on your side's Mercedes McKay joins us now, live from the Northwoods Police Department, and she has new details about the second officer's connection to this case. Mercedes.
Mike and Ann, today we learned Michael Hill was Samuel Davis's supervising officer. Hill was charged with second-degree kidnapping last night. Now, some activists I spoke to today are questioning what's happening within the Northwoods Police Department.
How deep does this type of culture and action go? How many times has this happened before? How many times has it been swept under the rug?
These are the questions J.D. Dixon now has after a second Northwoods police officer was arrested in connection with a police brutality investigation.
The officer turned off his body camera, reports weren't filed. So how many other individuals and Black Americans have they done this to?
Northwoods police officer Michael Hill was charged with second-degree kidnapping Tuesday night, just one day after fellow officer Samuel Davis was charged with first-degree assault, armed criminal action, and kidnapping. New information revealing Hill was Davis's supervisor.
That is a culture that has been built inside of that department. That supervisor is showing the actions of what these other officers can do.
According to police, Hill and Davis arrested a man on the 4th of July and drove him to a remote area in Kinloch. Davis then pepper sprayed and repeatedly beat the man, breaking his jaw and then leaving him there. Court documents revealed neither Hill or Davis had their body cameras turned on, didn't tell dispatch they arrested the man, and didn't file a report.
We really won't know what accountability looks like until we see what the outcome is.
Michelle Smith was one of the many activists who met with the Northwoods Police Chief Tuesday night, discussing the facts of the case and sharing their concerns about police accountability.
We really just want to talk to our elected officials concerning how these things happen in our community and what we need to do to rectify them.
While Smith has her own hesitations about Hill's charges in this incident, she's looking forward to hearing the full story in court and wants transparency at the center of it all.
We really just want to make sure that everything is on the up and up, that this process goes the way that it is actually supposed to go, and as community, we will be watching.
Smith told me last night when they were meeting with the Northwoods Police Chief, he actually got the call that Hill had been arrested. She told me he was very transparent with them about what happened, and they wrapped up their meeting. They're now trying to get a meeting set with the mayor of Northwoods.